Welcome back to the Crypto's Key Conversation. I just wanted to come on today and give you a quick little update of kind of what's going on with the Ripple versus SEC stuff, what's going on with Chairman Gensler and the SEC and their regulations. And we're also going to be taking a look at some video footage here of Ragdoll and House and talking about transparency within the markets and why it's important. And then kind of the influence of what's going on with this Ripple versus SEC case in regards of Ripple trying to IPO after the SEC case is over. Also looking at CoinDesk's article here, says Mastercard CEO teases about CBDC panel. Swift may not exist in 5 years. And then we're going to end on this. JP Morgan places BTC fair price at 38K, declares crypto a preferred alternative asset. So coming over here, looking at CoinGecko, we're currently sitting at a $1.32 trillion market cap, currently up 0.5% for the day. Coming down here, Bitcoin is sitting at 29,785. So we've been ranging in that like 28,000, 30,000 range for some time now. So if we click in here and we look at the 30-day, see, we've experienced a big down turmoil, especially with the compounding effect of Terra Luna and the depegging of UST, and it's just a lot of the negative narratives that hit the market. But we've just literally just been going sideways, ranging in that range. So I'm curious to see, when we're going to break out of that and, start, continuing our bull trend. See if we have any gainers here in a 24-hour period. Terra USD 47.2%. Terra's up 17%, Loop Ring. So this must be because of the whole Terra 2.0 announcement that came out that they're kind of rolling out that stuff. I'm not sure if they're doing any burnings or not. I haven't really updated on the community in the past couple of days. But there's some gainers here. If we come over here and look at the Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index, we're currently sitting at 11. So we've been ranging in this range as well too, from 13 all the way down to 8. We've seen it as low as 8. So the extreme fear is where we've been living at. I'm saying for the past like 4 to 6 months. A lot of negativity, a lot of uncertainty in the market. Coming over here, starting with James K. Fallon, he has an update here with the Ripple versus SEC stuff. So he goes, the court has granted the SEC's motion for extension of time to file an opposition to the amici request to participate in the expert challenge. So talking about Johnny Deaton, stepping in on behalf of over 67,000 XRP investors, pretty much talking about why we invested in XRP, and it wasn't on the backs or the efforts of Ripple increasing the value of our asset. We invested in XRP, a lot of us without even knowing what was going on with Ripple. So then he says SEC's objection is due by June 7th. So I guess I got an extension, and any responses to that objection are due by June 10th. Coming out here, XRP Crypto Wolf says, please tell me the judges are allowing all these few extra days extensions to make sure the SEC will have a hard time appealing if they lose. And I think, this person here as well too says that's exactly what the judge is doing, in my opinion. Judges don't like their rulings to get overturned in a higher court, so smart ones give everyone all the rope as possible to hang their cases if they try to appeal. So maybe that's what the judges are doing. Obviously, Judge Torres and Netburn, according to Johnny Deaton, we're blessed to have him within this litigation. Which if Johnny Deaton says it, then I believe it. So do it right and get the outcome that we're hoping to get with the regulatory clarity that Ripple and XRP need and the entire industry needs. Eleanor Chariot has an update here. Says Scoop. Patrick Doody, so this is the gentleman, the gentleman that's on the SEC side in regards of trying to speak on behalf of why XRP investors invested in XRP, and now we have Johnny Deaton trying to come in and say like, hold up, like that, this can't be an expert testimony, expert witness when haven't even spoken to, and actually heard from actual investors' mouths in regards to why they invested in XRP. That's why Johnny Deaton's trying to step in on behalf of the XRP holders. Says Patrick Doody, the independent expert the SEC retained to analyze the perspective of a, quote, reasonable purchaser of XRP is currently employed by a private consulting firm that won a $4.1 million government contract in 2018. The contract was funded by the SEC. So just bringing out some guns here, Eleanor. So Jeremy Hogan says, consider that fact check. So he comes down here and he puts up this image here. It says definitive contract. The numbers is a time and materials federal contract award. It was awarded to Integra FEC LLC on April 9, 2018. The definitive contract is funded by the Securities and Exchange Commission. The potential value of the award is $4.1 million. The NAICS category for award is whatever that is. Other scientific and technical consulting services. The PSC category is R408, support professional program management support. So I guess they fact checked it. Coming down here, XRP Crypto what says that the quote independent SEC expert witness doesn't sound like he has a conflict of interest at all, just like William Heyman, and then he has the clown emoji. I mean, that's literally what's going on here. I mean, there needs to be a massive investigation into everything. It's crazy. Conflicts of interest, just like has been the name of the game. That and delay. That's literally been the case. Coming over here, it says crypto firm Ripple will explore IPO after SEC lawsuit ends, CEO says. So Brad Garlinghouse says this is on CNBC. So the key points over this is Ripple will explore the possibility of initial public offering once its lawsuit with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission has ended. CEO Brad Garlinghouse told CNBC. The SEC alleges Ripple, Garlinghouse, and executive chairman Chris Larson engaged in an illegal securities offering through sales of XRP. Garlinghouse's comments came amid a cryptocurrency price crash that wiped billions of dollars of value off the market. XRP is down 42% in the last 30 days, according to Gecko. So, long story short, if you've been following the Ripple versus SEC case, whether you're an investor in Ripple or you're an investor in XRP, you're well aware of this conversation of IPOing after they get the regulatory clarity that they need to move forward. So it's just going to be exciting days ahead once this thing's said and done, and things go in the favor of Ripple and XRP and the crypto community in general, because this case is truly going to set precedent moving forward. Johnny Deaton had put up this video, and I'm just going to show the back half of the video, but he says he says quote, this is from Chairman Gensler, says quote, "Let's not risk undermining 90 years of securities laws." And then Johnny D says, "Instead, your enforcement lawyers are ignoring 76 years of precedent. How we never held oranges were securities. It's the scheme behind the offering. So why is the SEC claiming XRP itself as a security?" So take a listen in to what Chairman Gensler says here in this video.
We already have robust ways to protect investor trading on platforms, and we have robust ways to protect investors when entrepreneurs want to raise money from the public. We ought to apply those same protections in the crypto markets, and I say again to the platforms, whether trading or lending or the tokens. Come in, work through, register. We'll figure out how the regulations work. We'll adapt where it need be and where appropriate to achieve the core mission. But let's not risk undermining.
I mean, let's go back to it. He said, "Come in, talk to us, and we'll figure out how the regulations work." Why don't you just set some, get the proper, parties involved, the people that know what's going on, that don't have conflicts of interest, and that aren't, having backdoor deals. Do the right thing and set, proper and fair and just regulatory clarity, regulations within the space, so the space, isn't hindered, innovation isn't hindered, and the space can be prosperous. What do you mean? Come in and talk to us, and then we can see how the regulations fit. This is our chairman saying that in the SEC of the United States. This is crazy.
90 years of securities laws and create some regulatory arbitrage or loophole, or frankly, wait until the public is so hurt that it reacts and you lose the trust that those entrepreneurs are trying to build in these markets.
Well, you've already lost the trust of all of us. I mean, the entrepreneurs, they're literally running for the hills. They're running out of the United States just because of that. You're hindering innovation. You're hindering entrepreneurs developing stuff. A lot of these digital assets out here are truly set out to solve real world problems. They have true utility and use case. But you're claiming anything outside of Bitcoin and Ethereum, which you're not even stating what Ethereum status is, but anything outside of Bitcoin and Ethereum are securities. It's crazy, man. This is crazy. You've already ruined lives. You're currently still ruining lives. You're not protecting investors. Moving on here, this is from Link to. This is Brad Garlinghouse kind of speaking about transparency within the marketplace. This is Link to. I'm not going to read any of this. They got the little promotion go, but I just wanted to touch on what Brad Garlinghouse had to say in regards to transparency, and just look how he talks in regards of other projects. It's not like he's trying to attack certain projects. He almost like treads lightly in a respectful manner, like not to say, hey, I'm not pointing the finger at you, but I think, this project or that project, I think we all need to be like, he includes, XRP, he includes all assets of having transparency. But then if you see, other people like Joe Lubin and, other parties and other projects, they literally, when they talk at a certain project, they don't talk about, they talk at and talk down and almost scrutinize other projects for lack of a better term of saying it. But pretty much he has a more professional and prestige way of and humble way of kind of expressing why he feels transparency is key when it comes to our space. Let's listen in.
Tether is considered a dollar-backed stablecoin. I'm not personally involved with it, so I don't know exactly how they are sharing those financials. But I think now more than ever, the transparency that companies like Ripple have championed across the crypto industry are critical. That transparency for Tether, I think, is to really make sure that people participating, people buying, have access to whatever financial information they need to feel comfortable that, in fact, it is dollar-backed.
So do you think Tether has got to be more transparent about what's backing it?
Well, I think the whole industry needs to be more transparent. I think that applies to Tether. I think that applies to the whole industry. From the earliest days, Ripple and the XRP community, we've tried to lead by example. We've really tried to be the adults in the crypto room. And it's the reason why I've come here to Davos and met with finance ministers from around the world, CEOs of banks from around the world, to talk about how these technologies can actually solve real-world problems and reduce costs and improve the efficiency of particularly cross-border payments, an area that here at WEF they care a lot about, a population that's paying the most for remittance costs that can least afford it.
Happy hump day to
I mean, straight up, that's just professional. Ragdoll House hit it on the head, and that's truly what it is. I know there's been conversations about, obviously with the whole UST depegging from it's backed 1-to-1 because of algorithmic issues or whatever the case was. There's been conversations about, okay, so is Tether gonna depeg and cause another capitulation or massive market crash within the markets, because obviously Tether's one of the biggest, is the biggest stable coin in our industry, and there's been conversations about that, and he's kind of just talking about like it's crucial that you get the transparency out there and you gain the trust of all parties involved, all investors, and just the entire community, so the space can truly be prosperous and move forward. And I agree. And obviously he says they've tried to always be the adults in the crypto room, and that's just the truth. Be the adults, do the right thing. Moving on here, this is CoinDesk. Mastercard CEO teases CBDC panel. SWIFT may not exist in 5 years. Michael joined a panel on central bank digital currencies during the World Economic Forum's annual meeting. So long story short, there's been a conversation, and there was a video that came out, but I think it was like a 2-year-old video, but they were pretty much talking about how SWIFT and Ripple and XRP, like they weren't set out to replace one another. I guess they were saying they're set out to work together type thing. But there's also been conversations about Ripple and XRP completely replacing SWIFT. And regardless of whatever happens and whatever the outcome is, I think just coming in here, kind of reading some of these thoughts and some of these quotes, and even going in and seeing some of the video footage if it's available, I think it'd be quite interesting in regards of where are things going to go within the the next couple of years, the next decade, or whatever the case is. Clearly, we know that when it comes to this financial system, something's getting ready to break. So obviously, something's going to be new emerging in regards of now we have the crypto space and great projects and that have great utility and use case like Ripple and its XRP token and cross-border payments and the ledger and transactions under 3 to 5 seconds and just settlement in general happening. It doesn't take days and weeks to happen. I mean, there's a lot of ways that, like Brad Gallagher says, there's a lot of assets out there that are truly set out to solve real world problems and make things more efficient in every way, not just environmentally, but business to business, person to person, and just in general keep things streamlined. So I'm curious to see how things unfold in regards to SWIFT and cross-border remittances, cross-border payment projects like Ripple and XRP. Ending on this one, says JP Morgan places BTC fair price at $38,000, declares crypto a preferred alternative asset. So the reason why I'm bringing this up is because if you've been in the space or even just researched some of the space, JP Morgan's always had some sort of like issue or reservations in regards of Bitcoin in the crypto space. Like I want to say, what was it, back in 2017, 2018, it was like, oh, pretty much it's like it's a scam, it's going to zero, yada yada yada, negative this, negative that. But in the back, behind closed doors, they were accumulating and buying. So they were having like this smear or FUD campaigns while they were still accumulating. Now we're getting to the point to where we could see these major companies and major institutions and major players within our industry really buying into Bitcoin, NFTs, metaverse, and just the crypto space in general. And now there's been conversations about JP Morgan saying, hey, we prefer crypto over, alternative assets like real estate, which is crazy to even hear. It's super bullish. Obviously, we haven't had a massive like price increase over that. Those articles that's been popping up or those conversations that's been happening, but it's just like as the dominoes keep falling, as more eyes are being placed on it, and as you have more major companies and banks and corporations and a lot of money out there, whether it's VC or private or whatever the case is, once they start gathering more confidence, we get the regulatory clarity that this space needs to flourish. I mean, the floodgates are going to be completely open. We're currently sitting under a $2 trillion market cap. So it's so early. We're in its infancy stage in comparison to a lot of the other markets out there. So it literally, once the floodgates is open, it's over. And stuff like this is super bullish. Whenever you have JP Morgan, out of all people, coming out saying, hey, we prefer crypto over other things. Long story short, that's kind of the update, what's going on in the market. I got to get going. I got to run some errands. I hope you guys are all out there being safe and stay strong.